And Ricky Taylor leads out the Wynnum Seagulls. Their loyal fans here in numbers. The back line, Chapman, Filewood, Taylor the captain, Street, Olszewski, Waya and Predel. The forward pack, Batten, Larson, Hassan, Marr, Rackerman and Lawton. And now Brothers led out by halfback Peter Robinson. Slowly onto the field, thinking about it. The back line, Anderson, Douglas, Ewanson, Woolley, Hempstead, Maguire and Robinson. The pack, Bradkey, Rauchley, Essex, Nolan, Collins and Orchard. Referee is Stuart Byrne. The kick-off in this sudden death preliminary final. Who's going to make it through to the grand final as Wynnum bring it back through Jeff Hassan, who'll be one of their major weapons today. Rackerman through the hands of Batten, just slipping it a couple of passes wide.
Warren, psychologically, Wynnum-Manly have to get over that big loss they had to the Tigers last week. They had 44 points scored against them last week. They'll have to improve on that dramatically this evening.
David, it's going to take a lot to do that. They were really whipped in the second half last week after starting the game very strongly. They've started very cleanly in this set of 6. Solid start. Chapman kicks right down the centre of the field. It may be a touch too long. Will it stay in the in-goal area? No. Just a little too long.
There's an irony in that Wynnum-Manly have not had a strong kicking game all year. David Chapman finally got a hold of one and put it over the dead ball line from 50 metres.
David Chapman missed the preliminary semi-final win over Brothers. He played last week. He looks fitter today. And there's the season points. Defence is the difference.
Yeah, Brothers, a superior defensive performance there. Not much in attack. And that defensive Brothers will be tested this evening with a very good attacking side, the Seagulls.
Maguire goes wide, picks up Essex, running out into the centres. Played in the centres partway through the season, in the second row tonight. Now Orchard, who was sent off last week, exonerated and back out there tonight.
Sent off last week, and in that match when Brothers beat South 30-0, there were 3 players sent off and 2 to the sin bin. Let's hope we have a clean encounter this evening.
As Rauchley works his way up the centre of the field, 10 metres short of halfway on the 5th tackle. It goes to Maguire, under pressure from Waya. He stabs his kick in, down to winger Olszewski. He gives it to Chapman. Chapman looking for a big game tonight.
Interesting, David Chapman, who's only recently back from a knee injury, seems to be running far more freely. Head-to-head, 28 all the first round. We covered that match.
In round 2, Wynnum winning 34-22, coming from behind. And just 2 weeks ago, in the preliminary semi, Wynnum defeating Brothers 22-20. It was 14-4 to Brothers at half-time, and Wynnum came over the top in the second half.
Jeff Hassan there getting up over the halfway line. Wynnum-Manly, a great attacking unit, as we've said. That's Predel. He's a little general. Ricky Taylor pops one up, just held by Kirk Lawton. Gets up over the 40-metre line. Firewood to dummy half. That's the 5th. Waya can't get the kick away. Fires it back to Predel. Just managed to get the kick. Wynnum are offside. They'll have to give him 10. And Alan Anderson under no pressure. Well, it's hardly 10 metres he's moved there. And Alan Anderson, who was also held down in the tackle. Let's just fill his play there by Larson.
Yeah, Kent Larson just holding on a little too long here when there was no pressure on his side at all in defence on the first tackle there. And that's a giveaway. Just handed them 6 tackles back up near halfway.
Brothers now to go on the attack up over the halfway line. Darren Nolan, who won the man of the match last week in a rampaging performance against South.
And in the earlier games today, two hard-fought matches. Firstly, in reserve grade, Redcliffe defeated Souths 8-4, so Redcliffe will meet East in the grand final. And in the Premier, Colts an upset. East defeated the Crushers 20 points to 14, so it's East versus the Broncos in the grand final. Everyone was expecting a Broncos-Crushers grand final.
And Warren East in all three grades in the grand final next week. The Colts, the reserve grade and first grade. Well done by the Tigers. Who will they play? Brothers or Wynnum in the big one?
Well, this is Bradkey for Brothers. They're 30 metres out in centre field. Last tackle. Collins gives it to Maguire. He'll kick all day. He launches a bomb in the direction of Chapman. Here come the chasers. Plenty of pressure on Chapman. Brothers have got the ball. Not forward, says referee Burns. Oh, trouble there for Chapman. He had to wait for that one a long time, and there were four Brothers chasers in his face.
There is a suggestion that David Chapman is a little bit suspect under the high ball, but why wouldn't you be? A towering bomb here by Scott Maguire. Always a good chase by Brothers. I think Chapman's the first man to it, but under plenty of pressure. Knocked forward. Well, it didn't seem to come off the hand of Douglas. And Worsley did his best to get it down, but to no avail. The Seagulls breathe a huge sigh of relief, and an early kick. Anderson will have to chase.
Kicks into open spaces. Anderson has a long chase back to his own 20. Douglas trying to get back with him. Wynnum is setting up that play early in the tackle counter. Douglas has escaped. He runs off Anderson. Good football by the winger and fullback to combine to skirt that defence, which was down there in numbers.
Yeah, in numbers, but not good enough straight line there for wynnum-manly. And Brothers have done well to get it out of their own 20 and almost back up to the halfway line.
That's better defence from Wynnum. They moved up quickly on Bradkey. They're going to need plenty of tough defence. That was the front rowers in Lawton and, of course, Marr.
Good inside play this one. Came through Orchard, and that was Essex.
Just now Collins. Wynnum's half.
He dashes out of the dummy half position, pops it back. There's Robinson up to Orchard, coming on the fly off his little half-back. Stands in the tackle, fires it back to Maguire to Robinson. Robinson, a good incisive run. The Wynnum-manly defence being forced to roll backwards. Collins, the skipper, pops it up to Maguire. There's numbers on the outside here. Worsley fires it out through Nolan, back on the inside. I think it's Hewinson. No, it's not Hewinson out there. Woolley it is. This time Maguire again. That's not as good a kick, that one. Searching into the in-goal area. Too much depth on it. Over the dead ball line. Wynnum-manly to restart from the 20.
The kick just too far, but just getting back to that bomb a little while ago when Chapman couldn't hang on to it. David, you called that it didn't come off the hand of Douglas. I thought at best it might have come off his arm, but that was a no try, which went against Brothers.
Tony Batten there with a dangerous pass, just picked up by Ricky Taylor.
On their own 20, it comes out to Wire, running off Preddle. Of course, 2 weeks ago, Jason Preddle had a blinder against Brothers for Wynnum. Tonight, they'll have to keep a very close eye on him. In fact, the battle of the halfbacks, Robinson and Preddle, will be one to watch. Now Batten, he'll take it up all day long. He's very strong and willing. He's 5 short of halfway.
Interesting, Warren, that Anderson only stands at the fullback for Brothers, only about 10 metres back in behind that defensive line. That's a great kick, that one.
It's a beauty from Preddle. He got it spiralling over the top of the fullback Anderson and Aaron Douglas, the winger. Look, there's Douglas. It goes way over his head, and it's tremendously accurate as well, and finds touch just 9 metres out.
Has been the Achilles heel of the Seagulls this season. Their poor kicking definitely improved tonight. I don't know what's happened during the week. Peter Donkin would have to be satisfied.
There's no wind out there at all today. It's very calm. It is a little humid though, even though it's just early evening here. Anderson dummy half. He gets it to Maguire. He'll be the link man. He gets it onto Essex. Essex, a rangy second rower, has good speed. Tackled on his own 20. Maguire dummy half. Up to Rauchley. He's met by some strong defence. A little bit of sting in it, but he slips a pass away to Collins. Almost lost by Anderson. There were 3 men in the Wynnum tackle on Rauchley. They hit him hard, but then let him get around them. Robinson turns it inside to Orchard. He picks up Collins.
Second time Brothers have used that double inside pass, and it's been quite effective.
Bradkey's out to Maguire, in and away from him. Now he doubles around to get it back off Woolley. Close to touch. Stays in the field of play though. Good ball movement from Brothers, both inside and outside. Last tackle, Robinson with pressure on him. Gets the kick away. Down towards Chapman. Takes it well. It bounced low to him. Comes back at them hard. And he's knocked over. 12 metres short of halfway.
See there why he's been signed by the Hunter Valley Mariners for next season in the Super League, should it come about. David Chapman, who came up from, I think, Balmain, has been one of the stars for the Seagulls this season, and it's his good running from the back. Now wynnum-manly with their chance. That's Hassan. Fires the pass up. Brothers defence in quickly.
In fact, both Hassan and Chapman came from Balmain this year.
And they've been really two of the starring lights. Oh, that's Wire crunched. Thought he saw a gap, but he was wrong.
Last tackle.
This time Rackerman fires it up to Preddle. He decides on the high ball. This will put a bit of pressure on Anderson. Good hands, Alan Anderson. Can't take it though. Knocked forward. On the ground. Loose ball. Must have been touched by wynnum-manly after coming off Anderson, so that Ricky Hewenson was not offside.
An excellent bomb launched by Preddle. There was pressure from Larson coming through, and he knocked it back, it appeared to me. And
I think it was forward, Warren. Another great chance here for the Seagulls.
Scrum packing, only 15 metres out, and Taylor picks up Preddle. Preddle's quick out now to Firewood. Firewood brushes away from one. But when I said back, David, I was talking about Larson. I thought that Larson knocked it back, so maybe there was a brother's hand in there as well, knocking it forward. Rackerman stands, delivers to Taylor. Ricky Taylor for the line. Taylor close, over. Ricky Taylor over. Yes, it's a try.
Well, that's interesting.
The touch judge came back out.
Yes, that's interesting. The touch judge, I don't believe necessarily thought it was grounded, but Stewie Burnt wasn't bothered. Now let's have a close look at this.
Robinson complaining, he's the skipper.
Ricky Taylor has got some great strength. That's a good little pass, this one up from Rackerman. And then Ricky Taylor from 15 metres sets his sights, goes straight through the defence. In the opinion of the referee, Stewie Burnt, he grounds it, but the touch judge there stays on the infield side of the corner post, which normally means he believes it was not a try. Let's have another look. There's Ricky Taylor. Does he get it down? Well, the touch judge was also somewhat unsighted as well, in the opinion of the referee, and that's what counts. Well, Stewie Burnt reckons it's a try.
Clearly over the line. Whether he got it down, we couldn't really tell. His 11th try of the season, Ricky Taylor, an inspiration to this side, and great lead-up work too from Larson and Rackerman to unload. Olszewski lines up the kick. Matt Olszewski just 1 metre in from touch. It's a tough one. There's no wind to worry about though. He hits it well. It's going right at the upright. It slides inside it. That's a magnificent kick from Matt Olszewski. His side will be lifted by that. It's 6 points to 0 to Wynnum.
Sensational kick that by Olszewski. Look at this good work here from Larson. Keeps the ball alive. Rackerman also was held on to for a moment. Then Ricky Taylor from deep. And the situation here is the touch judge was unsighted and therefore does not go into that in-goal area. And it's pretty handy to have a statistician here tonight, Brad Talon, who's also a referee. And Brad informs us that's the little signals the officials go by.
So it's Wynnum on their own 20, having scored the first try of the match. And all really following when they got that extra set of 6 after the bomb was lost by Brothers. Rackerman goes into dummy half. And the charge, the Wynnum forwards trying to gallop forward. Plenty of defence there on Clayton Marr though. Out to Chapman. He kicks high. They are getting plenty of distance tonight. Over the head of Anderson, who's going to have to start to drop back further, you would think. He covers it now. Taylor up there in defence. Goes high over the ball with Wire. Glenn Wire, the 5'8", will play an important part today as well. Brothers on their own 30. Collins calling for a quicker play the ball and for the referee to get them off him. Out through Robinson to Orchard. Rob Orchard, a tower of strength to the Brothers side this season. Collins flicks it to Robinson, running the blind side. He brushes off one, and it's a penalty going to Wynnum.
Well, I'd say holding back, Warren, is the only thing I can think of. Let's have a look at it here. Oh, that's for raising the arm. Peter Robinson, no doubt, raising the forearm there as the defender came at him.
I think as much a reflex as he didn't expect the defender to pick the angle he was running so quickly.
Caught him by surprise, and that brought about that dangerous action, penalty to the Gulls.
Chapman will look for touch, and that's blow to Brothers there because they were working a couple of plays to get it out of their own half. Instead, they'll have to defend 15 metres out.
It was from a knock-on that they scored soon afterwards. Let's have a look how they go this time.
This is Kent Larson. He's playing a whale of a game early on here. Wynnum leading 6 points to 0 after 14 minutes. Looking for their second try. Rackerman gets it away to Marr. He can't break his way through. He'll play it 5 out. Batten's a decoy. Up the middle they go. It's Lawton. Lawton chopped down just still a couple of metres out.
Good defence.
That'll come through Prelim now. Working it wider. Chapman steps back inside. Can't escape Radcliffe's tackle. It was a good one. 12 metres out. Rackerman up the blind to Taylor. Similar position. Now Hassan. Back it comes to Rackerman. Rackerman's over. Rackerman's over for the second try of the match. Robinson again is furious. He's disputing the decision, possibly against a forward pass or something. Peter Robinson throwing his arms around. It's 10-0 to Wynnum. But once again, it's Taylor coming up this narrow blind side. Looks back inside. Big Jeff Hassan juggles it forward. He tries to get away from Anderson. There it is it forward. That pass possibly to Rackerman. Rackerman's over for a try.
Peter Rackerman, who's scored plenty this season, the try-scoring hooker, starts this one. But if your good players are playing well, you're going to be dangerous. There's two of their best. Ricky Taylor, Hassan. The first pass I thought was a little bit suspect. Rackerman well across. wynnum-manly on fire, 10-0, and Peter Rackerman 6 tries.
Matt Olszewski landed a super goal to start. Has 1 from 1. Similar angle, a little bit closer this time. This looks very good off the boot. It's coming around perfectly. 2 converted tries to Wynnum. They lead 12-0 after 16 minutes.
Well, the boot's on the other foot. It's been Brothers who've dominated in earlier matches in the first half, but wynnum-manly, good interchange of passing. Hassan there gets it, flicks the ball up to Rackerman, and wynnum-manly 2 tries after only 15 minutes.
All the passes in that try looked okay despite Brothers' protests. Now Batten brings it back for Wynnum.
Warren, of course, that all came, the opportunity for that try came from a penalty in possession when Peter Robinson, the skipper of Brothers, raised that forearm at the play the ball and gave a penalty away in possession. And wynnum-manly for the second time getting possession deep inside the 20 have come up with points.
It's Kent Larson pushed off Orchard. Now it's Marr. He can't break through them as he runs it hard and straight. In fact, that was Lawton that time. He's clumsily played the ball and the referee says he played it incorrectly, that he lost the ball in trying to play it quickly.
You can ill afford these errors because Brothers are a similar side there. He just lost it sideways. You can't play the ball in any direction. He did definitely lose it there. Now Brothers with a chance. They haven't had a lot of attack ball in this match. There's that blindside play. It was a dummy this time on that big blind. Instead they come open. The blind side has been very profitable for Brothers in recent weeks. 2 tries for the little play there. That was a variation to it. Now Chris Essex. Ricky Hewinson, who can break a tackle. Very good driving action he's got. Always going forward, Hewinson. Quick play the ball now will keep the defence rolling back. Dean Rawsley pops it up to Brackley, back to Rawsley. Here comes Robinson, straight up the middle of the ruck. Peter Robinson, nice little set piece. wynnum-manly's defence just made it. That was Rackerman. Anderson to dummy half. Out to Rawsley. Rawsley out to Nolan. Nolan decides to take the defence on. Tries to break through and gets it within 5 metres on the 5th tackle. Chance on the left here. Scott Maguire decides the little kicks to go. Aaron Douglas in behind. No try.
Oh, Douglas is a flyer and it was a perfectly weighted kick. Maybe just a touch too much on it. Even the referee had to hurdle the ball. But a lovely kick from Maguire. He's a very skillful kicker. Rolls it into the corner here. There goes Stuart Byrne over the top. Douglas striving to get to this first in the face of Olszewski. Did he get it down? He's so close. No, he lost it all right. But he probably would have been able to ground it if he'd held onto it.
I think he would have. It might have taken a jackknife to do it, but I think he's good enough and athletic enough to have got it down. He forgot one thing, and that was the football.
A very important passage of play here. Just going back to last week, Wynnum started strongly. Then they suddenly went to sleep midway through the first half. We've just seen Brothers put a very good set of 6 on them. Now can Wynnum regather their strength, get back on top.
Going to try and do it through their big guns again. That was Hassan trying to run into the gap. Brothers have read that pretty well so far. Here's the knock on. That's what Brothers were after. Chapman looked away at that critical moment.
Yeah, no excuse for David Chapman here. His job was to keep his eye on the ball and get that kick away. Instead, I don't know why he had a look. Maybe there was a call inside, thinking there might have been some pressure on him getting ready for the switch.
Here's the blindside play.
And away they go with Robinson. Wire chases him down on the Wynnum 20. 12-0 in favour of Wynnum midway through the first half. Now Essex, he breaks 2 tackles. Still going is Chris Essex. Tackle 10 out. Buried.
He's in good form, Essex, a dangerous runner.
Collins to Robinson, to Orchard. Off it goes to Nolan. Nice short, sharp passes. The defence not too sure who's going to hit it up at them. They're only 9 metres out, Brothers. Robinson to Maguire. He cuts out a man to give it to Anderson. He looks inside. They come around him. Yeah, Woolley had wrapped around him. Now Hewinson gives it to Bradkey. He changes the angle. Back to Hempstead to Anderson.
Would have to make it. Here's Hewinson.
Hewinson again. Woolley was unmarked outside just a moment earlier. Last tackle coming up, 5 metres out. Brothers stretching it. Maguire, beautiful pass out to Raudsley. To Robinson, men outside. On it goes to Nolan. He digs up Essex, weaving his way for the line. So close.
Great defence, the Seagulls. How they got those cover defenders across there. They were totally outnumbered by about 4 to 1 when the passing movement was on. The desperation in defence, and that's what you need.
The final tackle made by fullback Chapman with winger Olszewski.
And there's David Chapman now to sneak out another 10 metres. Wynnum-Manly, who've been under pressure, admittedly they put themselves under that pressure, but their defence has hung on. There's Tony Batten up over the 20. Wynnum-Manly, who've made 3 errors inside their own territory in the last 5 minutes. They'll afford that on this occasion. They'll want to keep it tidy and get it downfield. That's Preddle. They're still going to run it though. They're taking chances. Pops it back to Preddle. There's an overlap here if he can use it. Back to Ricky Taylor. Taylor goes across field. Rob Orchard, the front rower, can't get a hold of him. Taylor decides to straighten up. Stands in the tackle, does well. Back to Rackerman. Well, Wynnum-Manly prepared to take chances inside their own territory. That's the 5th tackle. This time back to Greg Street on that blind side. They're running it on the 5th. Gets the kick away. Anderson back in good position. This is not a good chase by Wynnum necessarily. Anderson tries to come across field, but the Wynnum defence gets there.
Always a risk if you decide to run it, but I thought that was well worthwhile, Greg Street hunting down that blind side, because as he started running, they did have the overlap. Brothers managed to close it down.
Yeah, Aaron Douglas did well just to hold back out of it to make sure that the extra man that had been created down that blind wasn't automatically given to him. He just hung off and forced the pass.
The other thing too, David, those early kicks from Preddle down into the corner are forcing Wynnum to send Brothers to send 3 men back. They are having to drop right back, not just the fullback. Both wingers are deep.
Yeah, and they're putting a bit of pressure on. This time Brothers now in attack. Here's Barry Collins. Hasn't he scampered some metres out of dummy half this season? That's the 5th tackle now. Scott Maguire hooks it back over his shoulder. Here's Darren Firewood back in his in-goal area. Gets the bounce he was after. There's Robinson. That's a good chase there by Peter Robinson. And also Aaron Douglas, the speed man. Dummy there thrown by Chapman, but Robinson once again.
If there's 2 men that lead by example, it's halfback Robinson and centre Taylor. They just work and work and work, and they're not the biggest men on the field.
Spot on, Warren. And this here is a relieving penalty for the Seagulls. Brothers caught inside the 10.
Penalties and drop balls, those unforced errors are going to be so important in this match. We've already seen Wynnum score twice, having been given possession, 1 from a penalty, 1 from a drop ball. We've seen Brothers very nearly score twice from 2 Wynnum mistakes within the set of 6 immediately following. Wynnum fine touch, just short of halfway. There's a change made out there, and it's Aaron Tilbrook, number 16 for Wynnum. Originally, Gavin Kugler and Nathan Croft were named on the bench, but instead, Peter Donkin, Wynnum coach, decided to go with Tilbrook, and also Pat O'Doherty, a former first grader from Wests, among other clubs down in Sydney, and he's been out for 3/4 of the season with knee ligament damage. It's a bit of a gamble. It's an interesting decision.
Of course, unlimited interchange, so he has got a chance, if O'Doherty doesn't measure up, to continue to make changes.
Wynnum are 35 metres out. Rackerman dashes to the blind side. He's making useful ground out of dummy half. 5th tackle, 30 metres out. Preddle, will he put it up high? He will. The chasers coming through. Underneath it is Anderson. Up they go. Knocked back again, was it?
Offside.
Offside this time against
Ricky
Wynnum.
Taylor, I think he may have been just in front of the man who went up to try and take the ball. And Brothers get that relieving penalty. Plenty of pressure being put on. Here's Anderson. Well, certainly touch and go, but Ricky Taylor was the one seen to be in front of the last man to touch the ball. One of his own players. Now Brothers with a chance to work it back.
Both teams are putting up some very good bombs, and they're also giving useful protection to their fullbacks.
Both very well structured games, Warren. It's been a high standard match thus far. And this time Chris Essex gets it to the 40-metre line. Collins, the dummy. A little bit of uncertainty there, and you can ill afford that at this stage. You want to be. He's lost it. Stewie Burnt looks to his touch judge and gets confirmation.
Well, these lost balls, plenty of strength in the tackle. The ball just squeezing out underneath. Looked as if it was just a lost ball, fair enough.
Clayton Marr leaving the field and Chris Rehberger coming on.
12-0 in favour of Wynnum after 24 minutes of play. It's Taylor. Works it one side. Wyatt will pick up Rehberger here. Off the bench he comes, number 14, Chris Rehberger.
Good tackle by Jansen down low. Wainwright over the top, he's off the bench as well.
Preddle to Larson. As yet we haven't seen Preddle linking up with Hassan. They were the danger pair last week and the week before. Kilbrook takes it up to the 30. Preddle on his left. Calls for it. The backs are fairly deep. Here's Hassan now a little wider to Chapman. Chapman halfway through the tackle.
There by, I think, Essex.
Essex was low. Great tackle it is. Here's Hassan again on the last. He puts it up to the post. Douglas is across there trying to run traffic. Well, the penalty has gone against Wynnum for some obstruction, but I tell you what, Douglas has just, I'd have to say, he deliberately obstructed as well.
Well, I thought so. He ran great protection. The penalty there for holding back. Oh, yeah, he's certainly come in there into play there. Gave Woolley a clean shot at it. The referee saw it the other way. And Brothers now with another chance to work it out of their own territory. They've been under some pressure.
Tough decisions, these under bombs for the referee tonight. A lot of pressure on the fullback, a lot of chases, and also plenty of protection. So there's a mass of players underneath the ball. And as yet, I'd say from half a dozen bombs, not one has really been taken cleanly.
The right, Warren, of course, it's a little bit more difficult under the lights. It was a great tackle, that one from Larson. It's Wainwright.
Yeah, James Wainwright, who started in the match 2 weeks ago against Wynnum, put on the bench tonight with Nolan in the starting lineup. Out it comes to Woolley, pushes off one, still going Ray Woolley, just inside the Wynnum half. Quick play, the ball was a good one from Maguire to Anderson. Looks inside, there's Woolley again. Flick out the back by Hempstead was magic. Away they go down the far side. Still play on with Brothers. Douglas has the ball now.
Sensational passing movement.
Yeah,
that's the fifth. Played on. He's played it forward.
Douglas for the line. He's over. Douglas scores a try. Aaron Douglas, who's done well 2 plays in a row. He's very quick off the mark.
Controversial, Warren. Did he have a marker? He was up very quickly to play it after a great passing movement down that left-hand side. Brothers have got their first try on the board. Aaron Douglas plays it forward. Let's have a look. Well, that's okay. Street certainly wasn't in position there to mark up or make the tackle. Aaron Douglas, great work. Fine try for Brothers. They've hit back.
Well, he's used to scoring longer distance tries. This is a short, sharp burst and second run in consecutive tackles, and that's a fair try to Brothers. They hit back. It's 12-4 to Wynnum. 16th try of the season to Aaron Douglas. Scott Maguire 10 metres in from touch. Hits it well, looks good. He converts the try. It's 12 points to 6 in favour of Wynnum, 12 minutes till half-time.
Great build-up that from Brothers to get it that close to the try line. And the passing movement was just excellent. Some flick passes. Have a look at Douglas quickly get to his feet. That was the 5th tackle. He took a gamble. He was just close enough to the try line to plant it down.
Olszewski for the restart for Wynnum. Then very important, 12 minutes till half-time. Robinson loses it backwards, and Wainwright brings it back safely enough in the end. Gains 15 metres. It was a well-judged kick by Olszewski deep into the in-goal. Now Ricky Hewinson, bustling run from him.
Strong.
There was some magic play in the lead up to that brothers try by Himstead and Woolley and Douglas.
Superb handling, and that really put brothers on the front foot. The Wynnum-Manly defence never recovered. Only good enough to capitalise.
I'm sure both sides are simply playing to win to make it through to the grand final as the penalty goes against Wynnum. Just hanging on a little too long in the tackle there.
And that's foolish, really. Interfering in that play. The ball late in the tackle count. Brothers with a good chance. There's Batten over the top, trying to drive him to ground. Orchard standing his ground. A lot of wrestling going on. And now brothers, their first tackle, they've got it to the halfway line. Good opportunity.
In saying they're just playing for the grand final, I'm sure the big crowd here is really lifting these players to produce their best. They'll be trying to impress everybody here tonight. No doubt, obviously, officials from the Raiders and the Broncos watching, and this crowd as well.
Then Rawsley bringing it to this right-hand side. Now brothers very, very deep back onto the left. Robinson, Maguire, Woolley will run the dummy. So did Hewinson, out to Anderson. That's got plenty of width. Aaron Douglas chuckles and gets a hold of it. Just overrun it. He really didn't time that well. He didn't allow for the dummies to happen. Got himself slightly out of position. There's Wainwright. Nice little pop back there to Orchard. They've used that inside pass well. There's Himstead dancing around. That's the fifth. Scott Maguire in possession. Decides to run it. Just enough pace to offload. Rawsley's lost it. Pops it up. There's Rehberger. Brothers deciding once again to run it on that sixth tackle.
Yeah, Scott Maguire ran himself into trouble that time. It was okay to think about running it, but once he committed himself, he just ran into traffic and couldn't get a pass away.
David Chapman there takes that first ruck, almost loses the ball forward. Back inside from Weyer. Fires it up there. This time Peter Rackerman up over the halfway line. Skipper to dummy half in Taylor. Treadle decides he wants to get it down the other end. He won't get the roll on he was looking for though. There's Aaron Douglas. He is surrounded. And I don't believe they gave him 10 again. Stewie Burnt being somewhat liberal with the chasers. This time Alan Anderson, very dangerous. Gets to the 20-metre line with a crossfield run. Stumbles forward. Himstead. Good little run by the left-hand winger to come across and steal forward. There's Orchard, dummy back on the inside. There's Essex. Rehberger read it well. Couldn't put him to ground though. That's a quick play the ball. There's Robinson. Maguire throws the dummy, tries to get forward. The pass has gone forward though. Rawsley juggled. Scott Maguire in traffic, tried to offload.
No doubt this pass was forward. Here's Maguire. It may have actually been touched by a Wynnum player on the way, but it went forward, and that's what the referee saw. A change here as Aaron Tilbrook leaves the field and Clayton Marr comes back on. Scrum fed, Wynnum ball. Wire gives it to Preddle. Taylor loses it back when it's on the ground. Brothers ball, no, knocked on by Brothers.
Wynnum lucky there. The ball tantalisingly lying in behind the attack line.
Bradkey tried to pick it up here.
Had he been able to pick up too? Woolley was there. Anderson coming forward. And Manly a little bit tardy.
Wynnum playing the interchange between half and 5/8 for Preddle and Wire again tonight. Trying to confuse the opposition a little. Now Preddle's the first receiver. He gives it to Batten. Evades one tackle. Still goes. Pops it back to Rackham and he lost it backwards. Play on. And Robinson diving tackle misses. Two tackles missed actually as they kept it going there. Wynnum to Rackham. Now Batten to Rehberger. He's hit hard. That's Rawsley up in defence with Woolley. 35 metres out. Preddle dummies to Hassan. He goes to Taylor. They've got an overlap here. Chapman sprints into space. Back inside to Greg Street. Street heads for the line. Diving tackle by Douglas. Not good enough to stop him, I don't think. Try to Greg Street. He might be getting a little long in the tooth, but he's not losing much speed. Greg Street scores an excellent try for Wynnum. puts them right on the front foot. Just 7 minutes before half-time. It's 16-6 here.
What's the long pass? This is the key pass, this one from Preddle.
And the dummy to Hassan.
Yep, the one that held in the defence, that long pass. Taylor pops the ball up to Chapman. Have a look how quickly when the defender gets him, he pops it to Street. And as you say, Warren, you might be getting long in the tooth, but when you give an experienced player a look at the touchline or the try line, he'll go for it. Aaron Douglas couldn't get him.
Well worked move here. You'll see that Preddle comes across. Hassan, who Brothers will be looking for, goes right. Instead, Preddle comes left. Good hands by Taylor to put Chapman into space. Perfect positioning from the centre Street. Good pass it was from Chapman, and Douglas not quite quick enough to stop Greg Street. Street now 29 years old, his 9th try, and he's starting to produce them in the final series. Olszewski has kicked 2 from 2, and both from almost identical positions to this. So he's got the line. Just the concentration. Can he duplicate it? It looks like he can. No, it just swings away a touch this time. Misses for the first occasion, but it's 16-6 in favour of Wynnum. 6 minutes till half-time.
What a well-constructed try this is. Takes a lot of work on the training paddock just to get this right. Hassan holds those defenders in that punt. The quick hands there by Ricky Taylor. Chapman into the gap. Street backing up on the inside, and then angles for that try line. Aaron Douglas coming from the far wing did his best, but he couldn't hold him out.
The restart of play, and Batten's back there, and he quickly brings it forward. He must be an inspiration to this side. Every time he gets the ball, he just goes flat to the floor, charges at him, and makes good ground.
A very hard-working pack of forwards Wynnum have got. They've got no shirkers in there, and that makes it a lot easier. Everyone's carrying their weight.
They look determined to go 80 minutes today, Wynnum, trying to get rid of that slackness that crept into their play last week. Mind you, Brothers are also still coming at them hard. Brothers a little frustrated by a couple of the early decisions. Preddle kicks for touch. It's a wobbly one. Douglas has got it.
Olszewski up quickly. There's Aaron Douglas. Breaks away from the first one. Got a bit of room to move. Aaron Douglas just can't get through that last defensive line with Larson getting a hold of him after Marr just ankle tapped him. Brothers coming forward through Alan Anderson. The wynnum-manly defence being rolled back. This is where they're vulnerable, the Seagulls. Essex looks to the right-hand side. Skipper Robinson back to Orchard. Up there to Gatsby. Now Brothers with plenty of width back on the left again, and wynnum-manly with only 2 defenders on the left-hand side of the goalpost. Here's Maguire. Woolley fires it out. There's Hewinson. Hewinson straightens it up. Can't get away from the defensive player. Puts it back on the inside. Was touched, I felt. And is signalled so Brothers will get loose head and feed.
Great attacking position for Brothers. Excellent sliding defence here from Wynnum, but as Hewinson straightened it up, it took the tackle of Wire from behind, getting his hand up amongst that football, made the pass all that much more difficult. It came off Douglas, and no, in fact, it's come off the Wynnum player into touch.
Brothers now with a great chance to even up the ledger somewhat. They trail at the moment by 16-6. Here's Scott Maguire bringing Hewinson back on the inside. Can't get away this time from Chapman, and over the top, Street finishes him off. Woolley pushes one of the defenders away. Essex to Wainwright. One mistake here and you'll pay the penalty.
You've got the spread to the left again, David.
Width and depth is what you need to go wide from this position. There's a little run-stop play up. Fires it up to Gatsby. Almost through. He needed to maybe go again.
He had 4 men on his left.
And they're still there, and Wynnum a little bit thin on the left-hand side. There's Robinson. Maguire lets it go. Woolley has knocked it on.
Wasted opportunity for Brothers. Not only on that play where a bad pass has caused the knock-on from Ray Woolley, but on the previous when Gadsby went on the charge. Fair enough, they set it up well, but Robinson had pulled a lot of defence in with the wrap-around, and they had 4 men on the left unmarked. Wynnum ball from the scrum.
Wynnum-Manly now will be looking to tidy things up. 3 minutes to go up to half-time. They've got a handy lead of 10 points. There's Chapman, another good run to pick up 10 metres.
30 metres out from their own post. Rehberger now for Wynnum. The Seagulls just need to control the play. This handy 10-point lead. Rehberger a little slow to his feet, popped the knock in the tackle, still holding his space. Batten, that pass was very flat. The referee said it was okay. Not much purpose though.
Wynnum-Manly have gone to neutral, and you can't afford that with 2.5 up to half-time, and you're still inside your own territory. Brothers will get another shot at them.
Hassan unload out the back a little riskily up to Chapman.
They do take chances, Wynnum. They back their ability.
On the last tackle, 10 short of halfway. Dwyer under pressure from his opposite, Maguire. Over the head once again of Douglas. Douglas quickly gets back. Here come the chasers. Dwyer goes low, cuts him down. Great tackle by Glenn Wyer, the 5'8".
He's in trouble, Wyer. He's gone down.
Anderson scurries out of a couple of tackles, having discarded his headgear.
Wyer puts his hand up. He can't continue.
Ray Woolley also playing without headgear tonight.
Others would love to get another try in the dying minutes of the first half. 2 to go.
Orchard.
Good pass. Here's the chance.
Robinson, Gadsby, Hewinson, cut down, lovely pass back to Gadsby. Gadsby is playing well since coming on.
Good defence there from Wynnum too, Warren. They really did trail across well after being outnumbered.
Now it's Maguire, numbering up better this time. Wynnum, Wainwright with a step. Gets it to Anderson. Play on with Maguire. He loses it though. His arms were chopped as he was trying to pass. And Wynnum bring it away just as Brothers were looking dangerous.
Good scrambling defence by the Seagulls after Brothers put a lot of pressure on with a good passing movement.
Radke's left the field for Brothers. And Wynnum with just over a minute till half-time, 40 metres out. Chris Rehberger goes on the charge. Well tackled by Richard Ackerman for Brothers. Number 16, he's just come on. Ackerman out to Hassan. He keeps it going to Taylor. He's knocked over by Hewinson low. And Orchard coming from the inside. Let's go with punches. Orchard and Taylor. Orchard throwing plenty. Taylor wants to get a piece of it.
Well, Orchards was sent off last week for fighting. He want to be very careful. Ricky Taylor's not finished yet. I don't think he realised he's not fighting Orchard anymore. Plenty of feeling here with half a minute to go up to half-time. The clock's still ticking away. This is part of real play.
It'll be very interesting to see how the referee judges this. If it's a penalty to Wynnum, it's only 30 metres out.
Ricky Taylor, who has had a broken nose 2 weeks ago as well, certainly been tested out. Ricky Taylor, who was well tackled initially there by Hewinson. Orchard over the top, roughs him up a little bit, just a hand on the face, then a little bit of a backhander, and then it was on.
Well,
Orchard.
There was a bit of scrapping, but Orchard's thrown the first punch.
No doubt about it.
Both men being called up for a caution now. Half-time siren goes.
Bit of claret there on Rob Orchard. He's gone for 10 minutes. He got sent off last week, this time a spell. Let's see if Stewie Burnt decides. I don't think he's going to send Ricky Taylor. I think Brothers are going to be the ones who'll struggle.
Taylor just gets a good talking to and wins the penalty.
And they've thrown the ball away. That's foolish. It's put them well within range now. And Matt Olszewski with a gift opportunity to add 2 further points. The half-time hooter has sounded.
Peter Robinson, the Brothers captain, again complains, but he's not going to change that decision. They're down to 12 men, and this is very kickable. I think Rob Orchard has let his side down here, giving away this penalty, leaving them with 12 men. Olszewski, handy to the post. It's 15 metres to the side, hits it well, and it's through, right on half-time. 2 more points to Wynnum, take them to a useful lead. It's 18 points to 6. Wynnum leading Brothers at half-time. Hard-fought semi-final and some crucial statistics, particularly the penalty count. Very even, but there have been important penalties. Going 4-3 to Brothers. The scrums are even, all with the feed. The error count very even, but in fact there's been quite considerably more handling errors by Brothers and considerably more missed tackles by Wynnum. Overall tackle counts very even. Metres gained favouring Wynnum. They've been making a bit of ground. Possession overall absolutely dead even, 50%, and in the opposition half with the ball 47%, but Wynnum have completed more sets, 17-11. That goes with those handling errors by Brothers. Brothers have, though, split Wynnum 3 times to 1. Those line breaks, kicks in general play, Wynnum with Prelim in particular, and Chapman, 12 kicks to 6 by Maguire. 18-6 at half-time to the Seagulls. second half underway.
Wynnum-manly to restart it. Towering kick downfield. Ricky Hewinson gets it out over the 20-metre line. Top tacklers in that first half for Wynnum-manly, Larson, Maher and Batten. And for Brothers, Orchard, Collins, well, especially Barry Collins, plenty of tackles there, 20, and Dean Worsley. So the forwards doing plenty as usual. They earn their money. Now Brothers to try and bring it out of their own territory. They're far from out of this game at 18-6. They've been the ones who've trailed before in the last couple of matches against the Seagulls. Well, they've actually led, I should say. Now the boot on the other foot. There's Worsley.
I think Worsley's one bloke that Brothers will be looking for a stronger second half. Didn't seem to be as involved as he usually is.
Yeah, and one of his key attributes is his ability to stand in tackles and offload. Brothers kicking it downfield. Chapman has to race across field to get a hold of it. Well, threw a couple of dummies. I hope he was never really suggesting he was going to throw either of those. This time Olszewski, good defence that by Robinson. Rackerman turns and fires it back to Batten. Batten searches across field, breaks away from one, but he's really doing it solo. Rackerman cruises across to get it. Pass this time up to Kirk Lawton. Struggles forward in a two-man tackle. Rackerman to Weyer, puts it behind him. Fortunately there, big Jeff Hassan gets a hold of it. That's the fifth tackle. Ricky Taylor knocks it downfield, but it'll go straight to Alan Anderson. Anderson waiting for the ideal bounce. Took him a lot of time. There's the kicker in Ricky Taylor. What a game he's had.
You'd wonder how Ricky Taylor got from one side of the field to centre field to make that tackle. And the Wynnum coach, Peter Donkin, joins us. Well, Peter, the boys seem more committed and concentrated in defence this week.
Yeah, we worked a little bit on that, Warren, during the week. Yeah.
On any particular aspects?
Yeah, mate, we spread too much against Eastern. You can't do it against Eastern. We've just pulled it in a bit tighter. We're a bit more committed, I think, tonight. How does David like our kicking game this week?
Sensational, I think, Peter. You must have done a bit of work on that as well.
Yeah, we have, David. You know, I wasn't going to give it in to you, but yeah, it's been pretty ordinary of late.
Yes.
But the chase has been exceptional tonight.
Key feature I felt, Peter, too, has been your backup. I mean, the breaks have only been sort of just there, and players have got in position to back up.
Yeah, they have. We've worked. That's another aspect we worked on during the week too. Our support play against East, well, everything was down against East. Oh, no.
Peter, we haven't seen as much work between Jason Predel and Hassan, Jeff Hassan. Is that deliberate because of last week it being telegraphed a little?
No, the Brothers have picked it well. Like, I give Brothers their due. They're really on Jeff. They're not giving him any latitude whatsoever.
The man has had a bit of latitude as Ricky Taylor's had a great game.
Yeah, Ricky's playing well. I thought David Chapman's playing well. A few of the others.
Now, what about, sorry, Peter, the selection of Pat O'Doherty on the bench? Are you going to use him?
Only if we need him.
Right.
He's there, you know, like it's a young side, and our heads dropped last week, and we struggled, and we need someone like that if he comes off the bench with that amount of experience. We just need someone there just to lead the young blokes.
Peter, I mean, it's 18 points to 6. No way you're home yet, though.
Oh, look, not with this 6-point try and this 10-metre rule. Yeah, I wouldn't be comfortable if it was 48-6.
All right, Peter, thanks very much for joining us.
Okay, Warren, David, thanks.
Peter Donkin, the Wynnum coach. Obviously, by no means are they home, but he sounds a confident man, David.
Well, he does. He's got reason to be. His side has played well, but he also realises Brothers are threatening. They're a very good attacking side, Brothers. And rest assured they'll throw caution to the wind as the game progresses and capable of scoring plenty of points themselves.
And Brothers are only 28 metres out here on the last tackle as Robinson puts it up high. Once again tests out David Chapman. He waits, he jumps. Robinson jumps too. It's loose. Charging through Bradley, but it's been called back.
Well, that's not the first time tonight, Warren. We've seen that high ball, and this Stewie Byrne has decided that it's been knocked forward. Very hard to pick. It always is a lottery with that high ball. Chapman appears to get to it first. Tapped there. Well, it certainly came off Peter Robinson. Whether it was off the forearm or not, in Stewie Byrne's opinion, it was.
And with all of these bombs, everyone being launched, I guess the chances are that for the referee at least, they're all evening themselves out.
Well, that's true.
Because they're all tough decisions. I'm not saying he's got any of them wrong yet. But very difficult, and it's a horror night for fullbacks. There've been very, very good bombs targeting them.
That's Kirk Lawton getting it to 30 metres out. Predel Ricky Taylor into a gap again, fires it back though. The pass has gone astray. Wynnum lucky. No, they've knocked it on.
Yeah, that's a mistake by Taylor. He's just tried to force that pass. He heard the call, he looked, but the man who was, well, I don't know whether he did get a call. If he did, he shouldn't have, because the man wasn't in a good position to accept the pass.
Very important too, Warren. Of course, Brothers still down to 12 men with Rob Orchard in the bin for about another 8 minutes. Little set
Brothers
piece.
through Hempstead, putting it down.
Hempstead lost it initially. And a couple of little errors creeping in, and here goes Wire. Will come back to Don Gala in a minute. When Wire gets through, chased there by Aaron Douglas, mows him down in a couple of seconds. David Chapman in the second half fires it out. There's Hassan. wynnum-manly try and move it quickly. Jeff Hassan brushes through a couple of tackles. 10 metres out from the try line. We'll go to Don Gala in a minute. The pass up this time to Clayton Maher. Brothers now got back to recover their defensive line. Rackerman, Wire, who made that break, throws the dummy, pops it up to Larson. Well read by the defence though of Essex. This time Rackerman runs out of dummy half, fires it up to the little half-back in Prelim, but the pass has gone astray. Brothers, good defence, has just held on.
Lawton couldn't take that pass, and Brothers holding out through solid defence. The Brothers coach Don Gala joins us now. Don, they're down, but by no means out. And it seemed in the first half you had opportunities and you weren't quite able to finish them.
Yeah, Warren, we sort of found some holes up the middle there early on in the first half, and we didn't go back there as often as we should have. And then we let them in for a couple of soft ones. We didn't number off right down the far sideline.
I think it was 7 drop balls as well. That was knocking your momentum around.
Yeah, it's pretty terminal, isn't it?
Any particular reason you think that you're coughing a few up?
I just think it's a lack of concentration. But, yeah, we'll give this a fair shake over the next 40 minutes, and there's a lot of football left in it now.
Don, have you seen any particular weaknesses that you're going to try and take Wynnum on with? There's a penalty now to Brothers, so that'll come in handy. But any areas where you're going to try and target the Seagulls?
Yeah, they're starting to walk a little bit in the forward, so we're just going to keep coming back down the middle. And if we can contract them in there a little bit, then we'll hit them outside with Ray Woolley and Ricky Hewinson and our 2 wingers.
Don, you're doing it with 12 men at the moment. How have you told them to play out this 10 minutes without Rob Orchard?
Tough. Well, it's just a matter like it's the end of the road for someone here tonight, and it doesn't matter whether we got 13 or 12 or 11. We're just going to have to stand up and be counted for 40 minutes, and our whole season comes down to 40 minutes, and we'll find something there.
Both teams are launching a lot of bombs at the opposition fullback, so you're going to keep on doing it?
No, I think we should be going to the corner now and putting some chases on it. It can't be a kick and hope situation now. We just got to play sensible, keep them down the corner, keep the pressure on, and hopefully the score will build from there.
All right, thanks, Don, for joining us. Brothers on the attack, just 10 metres out here with Dean Rauchley. Was Don Gala, the Brothers coach. And Brothers, a golden opportunity here, one they need to take to get back in.
Wynnum thin on the right.
Out it goes through the hands of Essex to Bradkey. Bradkey skips in and away, gives a bit of room to Hewinson now. Hewinson taken by the defence, which moved across on him well. Last tackle. Maguire pops the kick through, it's low bouncing. Greg Street picks it up. He can't get out though. Great chase from Peter Robinson, the halfback, mows him down.
Just a play Brothers were looking for there to put a bit of pressure on wynnum-manly and see how they can handle the extra 6 tackles. Good kick this one from Scott Maguire. Good sweeping though by Greg Street. Once again the experience to pick it up. Brothers with 12 but on the attack.
18 points to 6 in favour of Wynnum. 9 minutes into the second half as Taylor drops out to Alan Anderson. And he gives it to Rackerman. Richard Ackerman brings it back for Brothers to the 30. Barry Collins dummy half. We may start to see him scurry more too. Wasn't really dashed out of that position so much in the match.
Orchard back on, 13 on 13.
Rauchley to Robinson. He switches it back to Rauchley. They tried this in the first half. Dean Rauchley brushes away from 2, from 3. Still going. Robinson's there. No, it's Ackerman. Ackerman's over for the try for Brothers. The set move has come up trumps. Dean Rauchley has broken 3 or 4 tackles. Unloaded the pass just in time. And Brothers hit back. It's 18-10 to Wynnum. Beautifully worked move. They've obviously practiced this during the week. Rauchley gives it to Robinson. Backs into position to receive it again. Breaks away from Batten there. holds onto the ball, looking to unload it first. He got rid of Maher. He got rid of, I think it might be Chapman or Preddle there. Richard Ackerman looms up. There's Chapman now, but he cannot stop Richard Ackerman.
Good work from Dean Rorschley, but some fairly feeble grasping attempts to tackle by Wynnum-Manly. Rorschley with plenty of strength, going forward all the time. That's a good sidestep to get away from Batten. Look at the grabbing attempts and tackles by the Seagulls. Then the fresh man in Richard Ackerman does well to score it next to the post. Scott Maguire's converted it, and Brothers have got back within 6 points. 18-12, and we've still got 30 minutes to go. This is good play, as you say, Warren. Dean Rorschley needed to do a bit extra in this second half. Nice little set piece, breaks away from a few tackles, not willing to surrender, and then the fresh man takes it, spins away, scores the try, and Brothers well and truly back in the match.
6 points the difference. Wynnum still have their heads in front, but they can't give away another point, or they'll be starting to feel pretty nervous. On their own 20 now, it's Brothers as Collins gives it out to Orchard, and Orchard is revved up. He's come back out with a bit of strapping around that eye that was bloodied in the punch-up with Taylor. Now Ackerman, the try scorer. He gains a few more metres. Taylor, I should say, well, we had Robinson going one side, but it's Collins darting straight ahead. Wynnum were awake to him, though. Larson made the tackle. It's Maguire now with the kick. Bouncing around a little awkwardly for Chapman. He comes back at Douglas. We've got Ian Cash out there, number 15. And no doubt he's replaced Glenn Wire. Oh no, Wire's still out there as well. So it's Ian Cash with the ball right now.
Wynnum-Manly won't want to fall for a trap, Warren, to start trying to protect any sort of lead. It's only 6 points even now. They scored some good points in the first half with some good attacking play, some flamboyant play. They go in the shell. Brothers are just a side who can really capitalise, and they've shown that already. There's some strong defence.
Bradkey's one of the tacklers, driving in hard there. Good work by him. That really puts a dent in the Wynnum momentum and their confidence, but Taylor gets a good kick away, and Douglas almost looks as if it hit his back. Brings it back towards centre field. He beats Wire. Douglas sprints into open space. He's still going. Just tackled and touched from behind by Olszewski. Knocked him off balance. 40 metres out now. Orchard loses it. Oh, just as Brothers were on fire.
And about 4 of the Brothers players put their hands to their head, realising they were just getting that momentum going. The all-important momentum, you want to keep it going. Orchard there just took his eye off for a moment. And there's Alan Anderson signifying his disappointment.
That's a critical mistake by Orchard. He just felt the Brothers were ready to score yet another try.
Yeah, and they're very dangerous too. Here's Wynnum-Manly now with quick hands. This time out to Darren Firewood. Brothers defence coming up quickly. That's Scott Maguire. Wire pops it up to Batten. He stepped well today to beat that first defender.
An important set of 6 this for Wynnum. As you were saying, David, they just looked like they were getting a little negative in the last set, little disorganised, running away from each other.
Absolutely, they've dropped back a gear. Rackham just manages to hang on to that one. This time Larson, that's a better run from the big Seagull second rower. He is stunned by it. Preddle, Ricky Taylor out wide, uses that right-hand fend, but can't get away from some good defence. That's the 5th. Preddle steps out of the dummy half position, but has put it over the touchline on the full.
Well, hard to step out from dummy half and kick off your right foot when the markers are coming around, and Preddle has failed to do it. He puts it out on the full, and Wynnum just loosening their grip on the match.
Warren, Peter Donkin has said every time we've interviewed him at in any of the matches this season that they always put one out on the full. I can recall the game, he said, well, at least that's it. So he'd be hoping it doesn't happen again. Here's Douglas.
Well tackled by Cash, following him though.
Peter Robin. Now this time Woolley decides to blindsides the chance. Precariously close to the touchline. Anderson rushes into dummy half. Robinson, Collins, Orchard. All juggles for a moment, fires the ball up. Well done there by Bradkey to let it bounce. Pops the pass up to Himstead, back on the inside. Fancy footwork, breaks away from a couple.
Lightning step by Himstead off the right.
Very dangerous. Here's Maguire. Up this time to Essex. Rorschley let it go. Here's Anderson. There's an extra man out here if they can make use of it. Back on the inside to Woolley. Woolley looks there for Robinson. That's the 5th tackle. Brothers prepared to really chance their arm. This time Maguire. Crossfield kicks, a good chance. A little bit too deep though. Olszewski can't handle. He's taken it dead. More pressure here now mounted from Brothers. Actually it was Firewood over that far side. just couldn't handle.
Yeah, Maguire, again, a pinpoint kick. They've gone a little wider this time, not for the fullback, as Don Gala suggested. This is for Firewood, grabbing at it, and if he'd been able to take it, it would have been back to the 20.
More pressure now for the Seagulls, with Brothers another chance. They've forced a goal line drop out a couple of times. Worsley back on the halfway line.
One thing about Brothers' play, the last couple of sets of 6, they have been prepared to spread the ball wide. Even though there's been a couple of clumsy passes which have bounced on the ground, the direction of play has been right, and they've been deep enough to allow that bouncing ball.
Yeah, Warren, I think simply Brothers are positive at the moment, Wynnum negative, and Wynnum have got that 6-point lead. Let's see how it progresses. This time Bradkey stands in the tackle again, some more positive play, pops it up to Collins. The wynnum-manly defence scrambling there. Collins gets it away as well. That'll put pressure on the defence every time. Robinson does well to go forward. The defence rolls back. Good play there from Collins to sweep in a dummy half. Takes 10 metres, pops it up. Robinson in good support. Here's Ackerman. Ackerman left on the outside to Douglas in the corner. Brothers are in again. In the corner, the brethren. They've kept the ball alive. Great little dart out of dummy half there by Robinson. Brothers have kept it alive. That's their second try in the second half by Brothers. And they're back within a hair's breadth. Let's have a look at it. Great run this one here from Collins. Out of the dummy half. Stands in the tackle. Robinson, the skipper, has trailed well. Worked like a Trojan all night. Ackerman, who scored a previous try, just gives enough room there for Douglas to sneak across in the corner.
You only need to give Aaron Douglas just a little opening, and he's taken it. But this is good football by Bradkey and Anderson to keep the ball alive. Collins has done particularly well. Here he is now. He's ducked away from a couple, keeps it alive yet again. Peter Robinson doubling around, always in position to back up. Great lead-up work by Brothers. It's just keeping it alive, running that Wynnum defence out. This is Collins now. Perfect dart to the blind side. Robinson was there again. Ackerman just held Cash in. Maybe Cash should have stayed out on Douglas. He gave him the opening and Douglas took it. 17th try. This try-scoring blitz winger, Aaron Douglas, representative winger from Brothers this year.
What an important kick this one for Scott Maguire. He can even it up. He's hooked it just to the right-hand side of the post. Wynnum-Manly have breathing space. They've got to keep it going. 23 to go. Brothers well and truly back in it.
Well, we said that Brothers were building and building, and this is a great burst by Barry Collins. He really is a tremendous footballer for them. Now, look at Cash. He's just drifting in. Maybe he had to go in, but when you've got a man opposite you like Douglas, I think you've got to stay on him. If you're Ian Cash, it was 2 against 1, but I think he had to stay with Douglas and hope the inside men could pick them up. Missed tackles, 22 by Wynnum, 11 by Brothers.
That tells the story. Wynnum-Manly's defence has always been just questionable. They'll need to lift now. They'll have to take it out of first gear. They've got a couple of other gears, and Pat O'Doherty on. The huge man, number 17, would not have played any football, as far as I know, for the last 3 months. And he's out there, as Peter Donkin has said, to give them a little bit of experience. Collins does well again to pop it up to Robinson, who's been everywhere. Ackerman also has been very mobile since he came on as an interchange player. Wynnum-Manly being rolled back once again as Brothers get right on top. Maguire to pin them further inside their own territory.
And here comes Douglas and also Woolley, and Chapman gets it.
Chapman had to hurry to that one, but good chase by Woolley and Douglas to trap him inside the 20. Wynnum-Manly moving the ball inside their own 10-metre zone. That's Firewood. Olszewski wants a quick play the ball, but he isn't going to get it. The pass up to Ricky Taylor. He realises he just needs to go forward here. Wynnum-Manly, who no doubt threw it into neutral, trying to protect a 12-point lead with 40 minutes of football to go in a preliminary final, is near impossible. You've got to play attacking football. There's O'Doherty. Stumbles forward.
He's big, isn't he, David?
Huge.
Obviously overweight, unable to train with that serious knee injury. But the gamble taken by Peter Donkin for his experience, and he's out there. Oh, Anderson's lost it. Knocked it forward, Alan Anderson.
Normally the silken hands of Alan Anderson have just let him down. Almost too casual.
That's the pressure of a preliminary final. Look at it. Doubled around, puts out one hand, not two.
We've seen him do it plenty of times before, the one-handed take. It needed care. not Flair. Scrum attack this time. Wire will have to put it in again. What a game. 18, 16, 20 to go. 21 to go to be exact. Preddle tries to work something. Breaks out of that first tackle. One of the brothers' players is down. Alan Anderson, I think it may be. No fullback at home for brothers. Kid Larson. Buried over there on the far side of the field. Anderson stumbling back. He can't play any more part, surely, for some minutes. O'Doherty decides not to offload.
Anderson must have copped a head knock. He's wobbly.
The referee will stop it while the trainer calls for assistance.
Bad luck for Anderson. He's a very slippery attacking player, but he made the error just a moment ago. Now he's copped a knock. He'll have to leave the field.
Tony Guilfoyle takes the field, captain reserve grade this season, who have been also successful for brothers. Guilfoyle very experienced, an impact runner, but Hewinson has gone to fullback, Guilfoyle in the centres. The Seagulls now on attack. Ricky Taylor looked there for Hassan on the inside. That's the fifth. Preddle in position there to hoist it up. Got plenty of depth on it. Ricky Hewinson, his first pressure. He's put it down in the in-goal area. Try! The Seagulls have scored it. And who should it be but the skipper? Following through, brothers have suffered from having to replace their fullback only 1 minute ago. And the high ball put up here by Jason Preddle. Ricky Hewinson, who's normally very safe, seemed to have this one covered. Almost had a clean shot at it, but straight through the breadbasket. The ball on the ground. Ricky Taylor gets in there, I think, to score it.
Well, it's been raining bombs, and this is as good as any of them. High, right on the goal line. Hewinson eyes on the ball, but it goes straight through his arms. And Wynnum there to score the try through Ricky Taylor. His 12th try of the season. And that's just icing on the cake on a very strong game from him. But still, 20 minutes to go, even though it's 22-16 to Wynnum. Kick to come.
Dolchevsky to make it an 8-point lead. Oh, so important this one. He's kicked 3 from 4. Takes his time, checks the post one more time. Moves in, hits it perfectly. Right down the middle. And wynnum-manly with that little bit of extra comfort, 24-16.
Brothers tried to give the fullback plenty of protection. Aaron Douglas came screaming in from the wing. Rob Orchard was going back. He seemed to get tripped out of the play, but in the end it didn't make much difference. It was simply the drop ball by Hewinson that gave the try to Wynnum.
Restart now by brothers. Wynnum-manly, who had really been languishing for the last 20 minutes, haven't looked like scoring points, and now a penalty, I think, for a high shot. And brothers can ill afford to surrender territory in this fashion.
Rob Orchard, the tackler here on Tony Batten as he charges up, and there it was, just up around the neck. Not so much a vicious arm, but hooking him around the neck. And the referee gave the penalty. Fair enough to Wynnum.
Chapman with a wobbly old kick, does find touch though. That's the most important thing. O'Doherty charges onto the ball.
David, worth mentioning that Wynnum, for a long time now, have been battling on this season without Greg Alexander, Pat O'Doherty, John Drews and Darren Whips. 4 players who at the beginning of the season would think been their key players.
Yeah, they've done extremely well. The pass back on the inside to Hassan, but you're right, Warren, they've suffered quite a deal of injuries, perhaps more so than brothers, who've had a pretty fair run. They've probably got their best squad out there at the moment, brothers.
And currently Dean Penrose out injured as well, so they're doing it with a few blokes filling in and doing a great job for them.
Not over yet though, as O'Doherty pops the pass up. Preddle decides to put the kick in, was only just rebounded. The tackle count has not restarted. That's the 5th. Preddle doesn't get it this time. It's out to Weyer. Weyer looks for the touchline. Has Peter Donkin's worst nightmares reoccurred? He's got 2 in one game.
Just a little too cute from Glenn Weyer that time. He had plenty of time and plenty of room, but aimed a little too wide, desperate to get it into touch. Had plenty of chases coming through too, so really it was a total just a mess, that kick.
Yeah, significant too, because Brothers straight back on the attack through Hewinson.
So it's Brothers 5 metres inside Wynnum's half, and the penalty goes against Wynnum.
We're compounded now with Brothers to get a chance to go deep inside the Seagulls territory.
Rackerman holding the ankles.
Well, foolish play there from Rackerman. Brothers will take it.
We've got 16 minutes left, and Brothers need more than a converted try. This is a perfect position for them, and they're only going to get another, say, 3 or 4 opportunities like this in the game. Can they take this one? It's Ackerman. It's in and away, leading with the head, but he's driven back a few metres.
Set piece coming up.
Robinson to the blind, to Orchard. Didn't really seem to expect it. Ackerman swings out of a tackle. Good strong work by Ackerman. Collins in a dummy half. Runners going everywhere. Up the middle comes Bradkey. Bradkey's still going. Rackerman's got him by the ankle.
It's only 4, 2 more to go.
They spread it wide now. Robinson does well to recover the pass wide of Maguire. Touched by Preddle, 6 more tackles. Ball dropped by Hewinson. Hewinson dropped all his pass down. Taylor throws a pass. Brothers offside. It was touched by a Brothers player as Taylor tried to get the pass away, and another Brothers teammate fell on it in an offside position.
Wynnum-manly decided to chance their arm here. Ricky Taylor pops it up. Himstead it was who knocked the ball down. Hewinson marginally offside. Wynnum-manly breathe a huge sigh of relief.
Hewinson must have very nearly been back onside before he dived on that ball. Probably still the correct decision.
This time O'Doherty winds it up.
David, that's 1 opportunity for Brothers gone.
As you say, Warren, you won't get too many more with 15 to go up to full time in a preliminary final. O'Doherty's leaving the field for a breather.
And where it all came a cropper for them was a bad pass from dummy half. And now another mistake here by Wynnum, though.
And Brothers capable of capitalising. Let's have another look. Wynnum, well, certainly not controlling that ball. Now Brothers with a great chance, centre field scrum to attack.
Out it comes, and a couple of the freshmen getting involved as Bradkey slips a pass away to Guilfoyle. Tony Guilfoyle, his first touch, and now it's Tony Gadsby. He's been thrown back on as well. On the Wynnum 40. Lorchley moves it out to Hewinson, pops it back for Collins. Gives it to Gadsby. Good passing. That was flat at best. Oh, Ackerman's broken away again. Support looming up for him now. Gadsby, the pass was too low for him.
What a game Richard Ackerman has had. Every time he's handled, he's looked dangerous. Great backup. He tried that impossible pass, or it was, I guess, worth a try.
Chance now for Wynnum. Taylor's got Filewood outside him. Backing away is Hempstead. Taylor goes up to halfway to Filewood now. Rauchley's back there. Play on with Wynnum. Still alive. It's Tilbrook up there in support. Aaron Tilbrook, good backup from him. 25 metres out.
Gaps on the right.
Gets to play the ball in now. Preddle, he was held down a long time. Out it comes wide to Olszewski. Oh, should have passed it. Now he loses it. Went forward as Larson picks it up. Olszewski had to pass it at the first instance.
Had 3 over. He did not need to get into traffic there. There's the 3 players. He realised his error. Brothers survive.
Oh, that could have been the match winner for Wynnum.
13 to go.
They lead 24-16. Wynnum Seagulls in front. Guilfoyle still playing up at 5'8", currently from the scrums at least. Now it's Wainwright. Brothers not panicking yet. They must be getting worried. Orchard hits it up hard. He runs at Clayton Marr. He makes the tackle with Preddle. A little dynamite halfback. From the marker position, he makes another tackle, this time pushed Collins sideways. They've been much tighter in the middle this week, Wynnum. They haven't given Brothers much. Now it's Maguire, one off the ruck with numbers out wide. Good selective pass to Robinson. Don't know if he should have worked it back inside to Guilfoyle, though. I guess you don't know it as you get the pass away. Last tackle. Maguire kicks for himself. It's going to bounce. Chapman comes forward. Maguire knocked. Peter Robinson.
He'll go.
Peter Robinson flew through the air. Not his style of football, but he flew through the air at Chapman with a swinging arm.
Well, he did his best to wrap things up, but he just totally mistimed this. Have a look at it. There's Chapman. Sees it coming. Whoa, just a glancing blow. Robinson fortunate it was only glancing. Stewie Burns kept his cool, and I admire him for that.
And you've got to say Robinson had an open palm. It wasn't a closed fist. If he wanted to take his head off, the fist would have been closed.
Yeah, it was just a tackle that went wrong. Over the top. You look bad from that angle, but you're right, Warren. The hand was open. It was a glancing blow. But that ball bouncing from Scott Maguire just could have gone anywhere. Bounced right in the hands of Chapman. Wynnum-manly not even going to take a chance to kick the touch. That's how safety conscious they are. As Tilbrook gets it to the 40.
Rauchley also given a quick caution.
Desperation now for both sides, in particular for Brothers. 11 to go. 8 in front, the Seagulls. Little dummy play there to Batten. Batten pops an unnecessary pass back. That's Rackerman. Brothers defence swarming in on the halfway line.
Hassan standing wide here for Wynnum. No, they go left.
Tilbrook fires it out. This time to Chapman. Little goose step. Decides to hang on. He has been dangerous. Pedal on the right. Out to Weyer. Very flat Wynnum. Unnecessarily flat, and that's why they put themselves under pressure. Guilfoyle's knocked it on. Wynnum too flat to go wide. Defence could get to them. Forced an error, but ultimately it was Guilfoyle who knocked on.
Yeah, they were a little flat, but it was great defence by Peter Robinson amongst others. He came right up in the face of Hassan, forced the quickness of the passes, and Wynnum couldn't control it.
Wynnum had got the feed, so the first knock on was by the Seagulls.
Now Robinson gets it out to Guilfoyle. He gives it to Maguire. Here comes Ewanson in from fullback. Just inside the Wynnum half. Maguire again, first receiver. And taking it up again as Bradkey. It might have been Bradkey on the previous play as well. Now Wainwright. He goes to the blind side, one out though. Made quick ground. They're only 35 out. Darren Nolan injecting himself in 30 metres out centre field. They can go either way. Maguire calls for it. He's got Bradkey outside and cuts him out. Goes instead a little wider. A stumbling run, knocked to ground by Filewood there. Now Maguire puts it up high. Chapman close to the post. This is difficult. He's taken it well. That's a great take by David Chapman. He's had to weather a storm of bombs.
Difficult for Brothers there. The bomb from just too far out from Scott Maguire to allow his players to come through and put pressure on. Great work from Chapman though. Brushed past the post, got into position, never took his eye off the ball. Had a fine game.
And Wynnum's defence holding out pretty well in that set with Brothers inside their 40 area.
Yeah, they've scrambled well, Wynnum. Which, as you say, Warren, was far from the case last week when they conceded 44 points. Wynnum-manly keeping it alive. Back to Greg Street.
Street's just come back onto the field. I think he's been off for a little while. 24-16 to Wynnum. 8 minutes to go. Batten tries to batter over the top of Robinson. He goes low and takes him just short of halfway. Now it's Chapman. He knows. Play it down the other end. That's a useful looking kick. Ewanson chases it across. He needs his winger to get back with him quickly. It's Guilfoyle on the far side. Can't quite get back there with him.
Tony Batten didn't necessarily close that off and had to rely on Greg Street to do the covering work just there as well. There's Ackerman.
Yeah, that's Ackerman. In fact, there's Ray Woolley playing on the wing now on the far side. A bad pass, getting a little clumsy. Bradkey couldn't handle. Robinson picks it up, but they're losing ground here. Needs a few calm heads and some direction. This is Guilfoyle now. Needs some quick, sharp stuff. This is better from Barry Collins, but there's no way through, and that's a good hit from Larson. But the offload's there. Knocked backwards. Play on at this stage. Others have still got it. They've wasted another tackle.
That's 5 of them.
Slow play the ball. Out it comes to Maguire. Back inside to Guilfoyle. He gets the kick away, but well, he's chasing well. He is chasing well. Missed dive by Taylor. Brothers have got it back with 6 more. Oh, that should never have resulted from that kick. Surely Wynnum should have had better cover on that kick.
Good chase by Guilfoyle. Awkward little kick.
Maguire gets it wide. Now they come back inside through Darren Nolan.
It should have gone wide. I think there was a half a chance there.
30 metres out. More men on the left for Brothers. Bradkey has had a hard-working game, Trevor Bradkey.
Big play this one, big set of 6 with 7 to go.
20 out and it's Robinson. He flicks it out a little wider to Wainwright. Still chasing Greg Street, rides him to ground. 10 metres out. Wynnum go back to the goal line. Douglas dummy half to Collins, out to Robinson. Back inside is Ackerman. He has been dangerous. This time they managed to nail him. Still 10 out. The tackler was Street. Robinson to the blind side. But Wainwright looks inside, still going, James Wainwright. Larson gets hold of him. 5th tackle. Brothers have got to come up with a try or at least a repeat set. Robinson to Maguire. Maguire with the dummies, through, goes to pass, Ackerman again, short, great tackle.
Richard Ackerman actually ultimately got it down, but he was grounded prior to the try line.
And I think it's Ricky Taylor who's made the tackle.
Great work there from Scott Maguire, the pass up to Ackerman, who's been everywhere since he came on, crushing defence right on the try line. That is a try saver, that is a match saver.
Oh, that's everything you said, David. Yep, they maintain their 8-point lead. How would you like to have been playing the last 5 minutes leading by 2?
Well, you'd be on a knife edge. wynnum-manly's still not out of it yet. Wynnum have got one down as well. Strong defence it was by Gadsby to take out Preddle.
Good variation by Maguire, who usually passes. That time he went for the run.
Yeah, and a beautiful little pass up too under a lot of traffic. Brothers now with all the work to do. Bit over 5 minutes to go. There's still time. Chapman has to launch it downfield. Under pressure, gets a high ball up. Ricky Hewinson, good position to take it. There is still time to score 8 points. There's Ackerman again. He's been everywhere in the 35 or so minutes he's been on. Brothers through Hewinson. Out of dummy half, spins out of one, pops it back. Woolley's there. Woolley tries to get away from one. Larson, who's done plenty of tackling with his second row mate Hassan, bring him to ground. Barry Collins, what's he done? Another 10 metres out of dummy half. Beautiful work by the skipper. Maguire, chance here on the outside. There's Gadsby coming back on the inside though. Spins away from one, looks for support. Nolan's lost it, knocked it forward. Brothers needed their hands to keep them in good stead there.
Well, I'd like to have another look at this one. Darren Nolan juggling it. I don't know that he put it deliberately. Was a pass okay? Yes. Nolan flicks it up. Oh, maybe a touch forward, but gee, pretty tough call.
And an important one as well with Wynnum now, loose head and feet. Weyer puts it in. Ricky Taylor, a mountain of a game this fella's had. He's gone again. Ricky Taylor breaks through, looks on the outside to Preddle, got support there as well, but he's not going to use it. Cover defence from Aaron Douglas and also Hewinson and Tony Guilfoyle. Wynnum should go forward here as Brothers come back. Street, Chapman decides, but waits too long. Good defence from Gadsby. There's the penalty. 4 to go, right in front. Brothers never onside.
Stuart Burnt playing the advantage, and Ricky Taylor points to the post. They'll take the shot for 2. Brothers in trouble after the break made by Preddle down the right-hand side, and never getting back their 10 on the far side as Wynnum tried to work it back to the left. Olszewski lining this kick up. It's right in front of the post, and if he kicks this, you'd have to say that Wynnum are just about home. 2 minutes 53 left on the clock. He moves into it. It's straight between the posts and the Wynnum Seagulls. Their fans are up and cheering. They're set for a grand final against East next week. 26-16 to Wynnum.
Couple of minutes to go now, and Brothers, you would think, would try a short kick-off here to get possession. Scott Maguire looks to his right-hand side. And I would think the chip kick-off, Wynnum only just realising they've only got their normal 3 up close. Not good play from Wynnum. The kick there by Maguire, just too big. Out via a touch from Brothers. Loose head and feed the Gulls. Not enough time now.
Yeah, it was the only kick that they could put on at this stage, and very nearly getting it back as Ray Woolley went up for it. But, got the touch, but into touch, and it's a Wynnum ball. David, one problem for Brothers in this second half has been the loss of their centre pair. They've got Ray Woolley moved to the wing. They had to put Hewinson back to fullback, and out there at the moment in the centres is Trevor Bradkey, the lock forward, and Tony Guilfoyle.
No doubt about it, Warren, and of course then we had that situation when Anderson went off the fullback, the high ball went up, Hewinson fresh to the position, failed to handle, and that gave Wynnum-Manly that little bit of breathing space they were searching for. At that stage, 18-16 the score.
The penalties have gone to Wynnum, 7-6 the penalties. The scrums are 8 apiece, they've all gone with the feed. Total errors, 39 by Wynnum and 30 by Brothers. And 29 missed tackles by Wynnum. There's the metres gained very even. Brothers have actually had a little more possession. So they've just had enough ball in the second half to have gone on to win the game, but unable to do it.
Yeah, a couple of times they've just their hands have let them down, and probably in the first half too. They had a few chances in that first half, and their handling has not been as crisp as what we've seen in earlier semi-final matches. But to Wynnum-Manly's credit, Warren, I think one of the best turnarounds I've seen for a side beaten in the major semi-final last week by a massive 44-16. Great coaching effort here from Peter Donkin to get their side back up again, not only physically but mentally. They've improved in a lot of areas where their weaknesses were. Their defence has been far superior this week to what it was last week. It'll need to be against the Tigers next week.
Yeah, but they will have learned. They will have learned a lot from last week too.
My word, and they're a good side, Wynnum-Manly. They've got some very classy players, and here's one of them, Hassan. Hasn't got the gaps normally. There he is, pops the pass up to David Chapman. Chapman comes back on the inside, fires the pass. Brothers have got a hold of it.
Maguire got a hold of it and he gave it away to Woolley, but there's just 17 seconds left and the touch judge is in now. Wynnum player down on the ground. That's Filewood.
He looks around, he doesn't really realise why, as the countdown now is on by the crowd. Oh, there was the elbow by Woolley. Felt he was being held down for a moment or two longer. Penalty goes to Brothers for the initial incident.
Well, there's nothing for them to gain except the consolation prize. Maguire goes very deep and finds touch just 30 metres out, or 38, so they might have one more shot.
Yeah, both these sides have done very well this year, Warren, coming from the bottom of the table last year to get to 2 and 3. Fine effort from both sides.
Yep, dead right. Wynnum finishing way down the ladder. Brothers came in 8th, well out of the 5, so they really have improved as it goes up. Chapman's lost it. In a way, that's ironic. And this is in the field of play.
Hang on, the referee's turned his back on it. There was a little incident here on the when the ball came down, but it could easily have been a try, Warren.
The touch judge was in, but Brothers touched down, and by then I think Stuart Byrne had already turned around.
Just as well, it's not going to count.
Peter Robinson was the one chasing through.
And he's chased all night as well. There was a player taken out. Yeah, Robinson also was affected, but the whistle's gone. The match is over. It doesn't matter. Wynnum survived to play East next week.
Well, David, that's one tremendous game of football by both teams, but who's your Brisbane Rugby League man of the match?
Well, and I thought one of the best performances I've seen by a Brisbane player for a long time. Ricky Taylor, the captain for Wynnum-Manly, was man of the match a couple of weeks ago. Could not have done more. Involved in the first 3 tries. His defence was outstanding. Ricky Taylor, he was second in the Rockmans this year and has carried on that good form into the finals.
Hello, Ricky, can you hear me? Yeah, mate. I can't hear him. I can see you talking, but I can't hear you at the moment. Okay, righto.
Now talk to Laura. Yeah.
Okay, Ricky, can you hear me now?
Yeah, mate, I can hear you.
Just like being on TV, isn't it? Can you still hear me?
Yeah, mate, pump the volume up though, eh?
All right, I'll yell loud. Okay. All right. Ricky, quite an amazing turnaround from being well and truly walloped by East last week. How did you do it? No, you didn't hear me. Ricky, can you hear me? Ricky, can you hear me now?
Yeah, mate. Here you are.
Can you hear us clear?
Oh, yeah,
reasonably. Okay. Okay. Ricky, an amazing turnaround from being well and truly walloped by East last week. How did you do it?
Oh, mate, we haven't been beaten by Brothers this year, so as long as we play to our game plan, we're always confident we'd win.
You scored 2 tries, you're involved in 2 more. Tell us about the first try where you're very close to the line. Did you get it down?
Oh, mate, the touch judge reckons I did, so I'll claim it.
And what about the tackle you made right on your own line late in the game, a try saver?
Yeah, mate, it had to be done, you know. That would have put them 2 points behind us with the goal kick, so I'm just glad I come up with the tackle.
Now, what about next week? You do have to turn it all around against East. Can you beat them next week?
Well, mate, we beat them at their home ground in round 2, so I'm pretty confident as long as we control the ball, we can beat them.
Congratulations on yet another fantastic performance.
Thank you very much, Warren.
Thanks, mate. Good on you.
Thank you.